Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's Richie from Boston. It's the 7th of July, 2017, and I have been hearing a lot, and I mean a lot, of channels and subscribers claiming things like nukes aren't real, dinosaurs were a hoax, this, that, and the other thing that aren't real. And I subscribe to a podcast. It's not free, I'll tell you that. And he continually discusses how dinosaurs are a complete and total fabrication and how no dinosaur skulls have ever been found, or so forth and so on, and blah, blah, blah. Well, I, on the other hand, don't think that's accurate. I do believe that dinosaurs did roam this planet, and I also believe that when the fallen angels came here and the reason the earth was flooded washed them all away. And I'll get to that in a few minutes. But just real quick, after a few minutes of research, I found this massive T-Rex skull unearthed in Montana. This was in 2016. And it shows them wrapping it up in plaster and removing it. And it is an actual skull for all intents and purposes, as far as I can tell. And as far as anyone can tell, because this is it on display. This is them showing it. I do find the numerology a little bit odd. 1 plus 5 is 6. It was 66 million years ago. You see what I'm saying? But, that could be looking way too far into it. There's 6 again. Just saying. But to tell people that there were no dinosaurs for a fact that was completely made up, totally, that no skulls ever existed. It took me 3 minutes to find this one, just one of one. And there's many more. But check this out. This is from the KJV, and this is explaining what appears to be a dinosaur. Behold now, behemoth, which I made with thee. He eateth grass as an ox. His strength is in his loins, and his force is in the navel of his belly. He moveth his tail like a cedar, not like a pine tree, not like an oak tree, like a cedar. The sinews of his stones are wrapped together. I don't know what that means. His bones are as strong pieces of brass. His bones are like bars of iron, blah, 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 so forth and so on. It goes on and goes on and goes on. Now, this sounds like it's referring to a large brontosaurus or something to that effect. You see what I'm saying? His strength is right here. His tail is like a cedar, so forth and so on. Now, why would I pick this particular subject? Because this is something that I'm familiar with. Dinosaur footprints found with human footprints. Now, this is in Texas, and this shows that the 66 million year old time frame is completely way off because these footprints interlace, and you can tell that they were made at the same time. This is now stone. The other thing is the Smithsonian and other anti-Bible or anti-biblical time frame people are rushing there to rip this all up. Now, if dinosaurs didn't exist, how were these giant dinosaur tracks with human tracks at the same time made in clay that turned into stone? Because I know people that have been there. I know several people that have gone there. And that's just all there is to it. Some of you might have actually been there. So that kind of throws out the window that there was no such thing as dinosaurs and no skulls have ever been found, because this just took me a second. I found this shows them pulling it out, so forth and so on. Maybe it's a hoax, but how do they hoax this? And if this was a hoax, why are evolutionists paying to have all this ripped up so there's no evidence of it anymore? You see what I'm saying? Trey Smith talks about this stuff ad nauseum. So I find the whole thing that, there's no dinosaurs displayed in museums ever at all. If you read this from the Davison Institute of Science Education, and I know, it's media. I would maybe fall further. There was no dinosaurs ever. I believe that dinosaurs were simply nothing more than alligators, other things. And if there were any dinosaurs, like the Bible shows us there was, according to this translation, you know what I'm saying? I think they were all grass eating, so forth and so on. And when you ended up with things like the T-Rex that were allegedly terror and they would eat everything and kill people and blah, 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 I believe that's nothing more than the fallen angels messing with things like they always did. Just like these ancient Sumerian statues show. A lion with an ibex and a tail made out of a snake. Why would these people draw all these things if they didn't at one time exist? You see what I mean? And I believe all these drawings go back to the same fallen angels that were here when God created everything. They know how to do creation, but they cannot create. They can only mess with stuff. And I believe that's why you see so many different hieroglyphics from Egypt showing people with the head of a snake, the head of a crocodile, things like this, so forth and so on. So I'm going to have to say that dinosaurs did exist. They didn't exist millions and millions and millions of years ago. They were here not too long ago, and it was part of the reason why they had to have the Great Flood, which would also explain why they find pockets of dinosaurs everywhere laid on top of each other, because that's what would happen if there was indeed a Great Flood. Maybe I'm wrong, but the evidence saying that there are full skeletons on display, the evidence saying that there are full skulls that have been found exist, and it only takes a few minutes to find it. So I'm going to have to debunk the dinosaurs never existed theme. Richie from Boston. Like, share, subscribe, and leave it in the comments. I am out.